Off and running over 2 miles in the final race, the Irish Stallion Farms EBF Future Champions listed bumper. As they race to the top of the hill, it is heads up in the centre. Jerry from Kerry, light blue jacket. Over the far side is Calypso's Chance, followed by Classical Creek, and dropped in is Friday Road. It is heads up, and Finn Buckley lead a couple of lengths from Classical Creek. Harry Swan on the outside. And on the running rail is Calypso's Chance, Patrick Mullins. Jerry from Kerry shuffled back under Michael O'Neill, owned and ridden, to be last but one. And finally Friday Road and Josh Williamson. Heads up now by 3 lengths to the stable companions, Classical Creek and Calypso's Chance, together at the rear of the field of Jerry from Kerry and Friday Road. Circuit to go, well settled down now. At the end of more than half a mile, in the leaders, heads up from Classical Creek. Third is Calypso's Chance. Just fourth is Jerry from Kerry from Friday Road. Making the bend, 1.25 miles from home. It's heads up the leader from Classical Creek within a couple of lengths. Break of 3 to in third place Calypso's Chance, the chestnut in a distinguishing white gap. Fourth and fifth are Jerry from Kerry and Friday Road. Right across from the stands, but 9 furlongs to go. It heads up the leader by 2.5 lengths to Classical Creek. Couple cleared of Calypso's Chance, and then Jerry from Kerry and Friday Road. Nothing has changed really in terms of the order. It is heads up by 3, reaching the halfway stage from Classical Creek, Calypso's Chance, Jerry from Kerry and Friday Road, as they tighten up a fraction with over 7 furlongs to go. The Irish Stallion Farms EBF Future Champions listed bumper. In front is heads up and Finn Buckley, as they've been from Flagfall, followed by Classical Creek, Harry Swan. Third is Calypso's Chance and Patrick Mullins, as Friday Road and Josh Williamson relegate to last, Jerry from Kerry and Michael O'Neill. Soon to turn at the end of the back straight, and it's heads up the leader from Classical Creek, Calypso's Chance, almost joined for third by Friday Road, who has 2 wins in bumpers, and fifth of the 5 with 5 furlongs to go is Jerry from Kerry. Continuing the bend across to the straight, and heads up now by 3.5 to 4 lengths from Classical Creek, disputing the third Calypso's Chance and Friday Road, and then Jerry from Kerry as they run round the home turn. Half a mile to go from here, as they're back at the point at which they started, and it's heads up first into the straight from Classical Creek. Friday Road nudges into third ahead of Calypso's Chance, and ridden along last of the quintet with 3.5 furlongs to go is Jerry from Kerry. Coming on towards the top of the course, and it is heads up, still going along in the lead from Classical Creek, who's now nudged along in second. Calypso's Chance has come back into third ahead of Friday Road and Jerry from Kerry as they come past the 2. And it's heads up from Classical Creek, who's about to draw level. After them in third, couple of lengths back is Calypso's Chance, then Friday Road and Jerry from Kerry as they meet the final furlong and a half. On the rail, it's heads up, tackled by both Calypso's Chance, who's quickening up on the outside of Classical Creek inside the final 200 yards. And it is Calypso's Chance who's drawing away in a handful of strides from heads up and Classical Creek. It's Calypso's Chance who proves to be the one for Jigginstown and Gordon Elliott in the listed bumper to close the card. Ridden by Patrick Mullins, heads up, Classical Creek second and third.
Calypso's Chance has proven the stronger of the 2 Gordon Elliott Jigginstown House horses, as the market predicted in the end. They couldn't split them. They couldn't split him and Classical Creek in the minutes before the off, but ultimately Calypso's Chance went off as favourite, and he travelled really well. Patrick Mullins under the white Jigginstown cap. He was over on the far side early in the home straight, took him towards the near side lease, and when he asked to pick up, he picked up really strongly. He's really extended on the run up the hill, and he's impressive.
He was, Don, he was. He joined the rest of them three quarters of the way up the home straight. Patrick Mullins, I thought at one stage down the back straight, was nearly running a little bit too keen in his hands. You can see Patrick just trying to take him back a little bit. He's just over racing somewhat slightly as Josh Williamson joins him on the outside. But as they round the home bend into the home straight, heads up, got a nice easy lead, as we thought he would as well. He took them along a nice decent gallop. Harry Swan always sat in second, and he was ready to lay down a challenge when he could. You can see him giving Classical Creek a couple of slaps down the neck just to gain on the front runner heads up, and which he did, Don. But when he asked him for effort, he didn't really drop his head as much. He ran round a little bit green. Patrick goes for a run on the inside at this stage, but he somewhat hits a little bit of a flat spot and has to switch around them, and then comes with a real rally late on.
He does, yeah. Here it looks like Classical Creek is just coming up to get the better of Heads On, which ultimately he doesn't. Heads On battles back really nice in the far side, John McConnell's horse. They come a wee bit close here as Classical Creek kind of moves a wee bit to his right when he's asked for his effort, but Calypso Chance, Patrick Mullins just takes him out wide, gets him into clear sailing, and this is the really impressive part, the final 200 yards.
Look at the way he grabs the ground.
Yeah.
He just picks up and he quickens again. He done what we seen him do in Punchestown. He quickened, but then he just had that extra gear to quicken again, which is very impressive from this horse, who somewhat looked as if he was slightly in trouble at one stage, and even when he got a bump from his stable companion Classical Creek, which didn't help him either. But it's just lovely the way he lowers his head and just gallops all the way to the ground. He just has that extra bit of a gear.
That's it. And here, like, he just had his momentum checked a little bit when he had to come just outside Classical Creek whenever he moved a bit to his right. But similar to Punchestown, Lisa, like visually the Punchestown performance was really impressive, which I suppose was at the root of the fact that he was put in as an odds-on shot initially for today's race, and he was weak in the market before, strengthening again in the minutes before the off. But he's just shown that attitude again, that just great determination, get down and drive forward, and he's come right away from his rivals.
Yeah, he's really professional about what he does, isn't he, as well? He just grinds it out so well, but he's able to pick up and take horses out of that comfort zone that aren't able to actually go with him as well. That'll be a happy trainer there, because hopefully this horse will be able to fulfil the potential that some of these previous winners have done in the past. Yeah,
Gordon Elliott has won 7 of the 9 renewals of this race, including with horses like Envoy Alain and Sir Gerhard and American Mike and Sam Crow. That Duty won it as well, and Calypso Chance, he was put in as favourite for the champion bumper at Cheltenham after his win the last day at Punchestown. I'm sure those odds will tighten even further now, but he's got it either way wherever he goes now. Calypso Chance has got a nice horse in his hands. Heads Up rallied well. I thought he stayed on well to get the better of Classical Creek for the runner-up spot, and Ferrari Road, he stuck to his task. We haven't seen him since the middle of October. It's a hot bumper. It usually is. It looks like a particularly hot one today as well, Lisa, even though there are only 5 runners.
Yeah, he's probably secured his place at the top of the market for the champion bumper,
sure
I think, Don. But there's plenty of, I suppose, Close Sutton candidates to come out just yet, and plenty of interesting races to happen over the Christmas.
There's a lot of water to flow under lots of bridges between now and then. There's Patrick Mullins. I'm sure he's delighted to pick up the ride on Calypso Chance, Alex, and he's an impressive winner, 1 for 1 in his point to points, and 2 for 2 in bumpers. He's done this well again.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.